She also called Nicki Minaj named Barbie. She also tweeted to Nicki Minaj, why you keep bringing up my album? It's not the gag that you think it is. You've been in the game like 16 years. You need to compare yourself to your peers. That started around your time. Rihanna, Taylor Swift, Drake. Those are the numbers you need to be competing with, and you can't because you're doing lower than all of them. I was in high school when you came out. What are you comparing yourself to me for?
That's my thing, Nicki Minaj, right? Why would I be here sitting in line like, oh yeah, I did this, I did that, knowing that the next day there's gonna be so much footages of that same night?
Things are spiraling out of control between Cardi B and Nicki Minaj once again. What began as harmless jabs about album sales has now exploded into something much more personal and ugly. And truth be told, it seems like Cardi might have pushed things too far this time. Reports say she allegedly exposed Nicki's private medical details, revealing information about her fertility struggles and alleged substance issues. Fans are completely torn. Some are defending Cardi, while others believe she went way out of line. Was it really fair for her to leak something so private? Saucy Santana, however, seems to think it was justified. He's made it clear that he's standing by Cardi's side in all this drama. But should he really be backing her up after such a move? What actually led to Cardi exposing Nicki like that? And could it all come back to haunt her? Let's break it down. The feud between Nicki and Cardi has flared up once again, something fans thought was long over after their explosive fight back in 2018. But it looks like Nicki's back in the ring and swinging. She recently fired shots at Cardi on social media, using none other than lyrics from Cardi's own song Magnet to throw shade. Cardi had just dropped her new album Am I the Drama, but Nicki apparently wasn't happy about it. She feels that title fits her more than anyone else. Nicki then started posting cryptic tweets, beginning with a picture of eagles, which fans immediately took as a jab at Cardi. Why? Because Cardi's new album cover features crows, and in Nicki's world, eagles always soar higher than crows. The message was loud and clear. Nicki was back to remind everyone who really runs the game.
Only a matter of time before Nicki Minaj and Cardi B started going back and forth online after Cardi B's album numbers came out, and this beef will truly never end. So Cardi's new album, Am I the Drama, debuted with 200,000 units, which she was celebrating because this is a big debut. But Nicki Minaj was celebrating because Cardi's album did not outsell Nicki's album Pink Friday 2, which debuted with 228,000 units back in 2023. It's clear that Nicki has been checking Cardi's numbers because of what she's been tweeting all day today, which started with a picture of an eagle. Now, Cardi's album cover and her visuals include crows, so fans figured out that this tweet was directed at Cardi because I guess crows have some sort of beef with eagles where they jump on eagles' back trying to peck them and get a reaction out of the eagles, but the eagle does not fight back. Instead, the eagle just flies higher and the crow just cannot catch up, so it eventually flies away.
But Nicki didn't stop with just one post. In another jab, she tweeted $4.99, which fans quickly noticed was a dig at the iTunes sale price for Cardi's new album. Ironically, that same album recently hit #1 on the Billboard 200 chart, so the shade didn't really land the way Nicki hoped. What makes it even funnier is that Nicki herself once sold her own album for the exact same price, $4.99. So honestly, her mocking Cardi for that move doesn't make much sense at all.
Tweeted $4.99, referring to Cardi discounting her album to $4.99 on iTunes, which I don't know why she said because Nicki also discounted Pink Friday 2 to $5 2 years ago.
That's when Cardi decided she had reached her limit and was done staying quiet. She fired back with a post saying, "You must have missed me, huh? Wild. Now kiss my feet." Then she added, "Nothing more annoying than a bored bee. I've got the kind of power that makes these bees crawl out of rehab every time. Go to your room." She even threw in another jab, calling Nicki Barbie in a mocking tone. Of course, Nicki isn't someone who backs down easily. She clapped right back. Nicki responded by quoting Cardi's song Magnet, writing, "ABC, defeat surgery to look like me. Tell the rat and tell Jay-Z Rico fraud and perjury." Not stopping there, she dropped another line that read, "Fell off the charts with a big belly, running trains, barefoot, still smelly, and still, you could never outsell me." She even referred to Cardi as Barney Dangerous. Naturally, Cardi wasn't about to let that slide. She took to X, questioning why Nicki was so obsessed with her album. Cardi pointed out that she's 32 and dropped her first hit in 2017, while Nicki, at 42, started her career way back in 2010. The age difference doesn't usually matter to fans, but Cardi made sure to highlight it, reminding Nicki that she's part of an older generation in rap. She said, "Why you keep talking about my album? It's not the gag you think it is. You've been in the game for like 16 years. You should be comparing yourself to your peers, Rihanna, Taylor Swift, Drake. Those are your competition, and you're behind all of them. I was in high school when you blew up. Why are you even comparing yourself to me?" Then Cardi added, "Damn, she was really streaming Magnet hard, here? I was literally in my kitchen baking ribs and brownies, and this B decides to come for me on a Monday." But she didn't stop there. She threw in a few brutal bars of her own in response to Nicki's diss. "ABCDEFG, your man had to snatch the P. P tastes like honeycomb. Your bro been touching years old." That last line was a low blow aimed at Nicki's brother, who was jailed for disturbing charges. And if there's one thing everyone knows about Nicki, it's that she never lets anyone mess with her family. So, instead of backing off, she jumped right back on X, ready to fire again.
Nicki then tweeted an AI photo of Cardi B as Barney, and Cardi tweeted this photo of Nicki's brother's mugshot with a pink wig.
Naturally, Cardi wasn't about to hold her tongue. She fired back with a fierce tweet, not only standing up for herself but also dropping some very personal details about Nicki. Cardi wrote, "Okay, this is like the third time you've tweeted about my pregnancy. Acting like you weren't running from one fertility doctor to another because those perks messed up your eggs. And that's not allegedly. Lord, protect my babies." It was a savage comeback, and fans went wild. One user commented, "Not allegedly? Oh, she ate that," while another wrote, "Cardi doesn't miss, she turned that clapback into a whole fertility clinic revelation." At this point, their feud was no longer just about rap. It had turned into something deeply personal, almost like a medical scandal. But here's the thing, by exposing Nicki's private health details, Cardi might have landed herself in serious legal trouble. Sharing someone's medical history publicly, especially in a feud, can easily cross legal boundaries. If Nicki decides to take it to court, she could actually sue Cardi for invasion of privacy or defamation. One account on X even warned, "Breaking, Cardi B may have violated state laws by disclosing Nicki Minaj's medical records. This could escalate if HIPAA gets involved." If Nicki's team pursues it, Cardi could face a major lawsuit and lose a lot more than just online credibility. And that's not even her only problem. Remember that tweet where Cardi hinted that Nicki had addiction issues? Yeah, that one could also blow up in her face. Because Nicki herself once admitted to struggling with painkiller dependency. Back in 2023, she told Rolling Stone that she became hooked on Percocet after being prescribed it for menstrual pain. "No one told me it was a narcotic or addictive," Nicki said. "Thankfully, I managed to pull myself together, but once you've faced addiction, it never really leaves you. You have to think carefully about every choice." Still, Nicki's recovery wasn't as smooth as she described. In 2024, she was briefly detained in Amsterdam during her Pink Friday 2 world tour after authorities claimed they found substances in her luggage. Another chapter that Cardi might have hit too close to home with her jab.
Do it as soon as possible. But
what am I doing? What am I doing? I never gave anyone. So I'm under arrest.
Yes.
But
Yes.
under arrest for what?
Okay, stop filming now.
I'm under arrest for what?
It's pretty clear that Cardi is wading into some risky territory right now. But surprisingly, the internet doesn't seem too worried about that. Fans, and even a few celebrities, are treating the whole situation like just another messy rap feud. For instance, Ice Spice jumped into the chaos with a simple giggling emoji, clearly entertained by the drama. On the other hand, former City Girls rapper JT decided to take Nicki's side after Cardi appeared to throw shade at her in Magnet. JT tweeted, "LOL, that B, at home, ugly and bitter, no celebration. If I was number one, I'd be dancing right now. She knows she's lying." Basically, JT was accusing Cardi of faking her album numbers to grab attention, a serious insult in the music world. That's when Saucy Santana entered the picture. He made his stance obvious by posting a video of himself vibing to Cardi's diss track aimed at JT, showing everyone exactly whose side he's on. But honestly, Saucy siding with Cardi isn't shocking at all. He's been Team Cardi for a while now, and it's partly because things between him and Nicki didn't exactly end on good terms. Back in 2022, Saucy was still a proud Barb and even asked Nicki for a collaboration during an Instagram live. He confidently said, "When am I getting my feature?" But instead of taking it lightly, Nicki seemed completely turned off. Her expression said it all. She frowned and gave Saucy the cold shoulder, leaving him awkwardly thinking her MIC had glitched.
What? When I'm getting my picture. Hold on. Turn it down there. I can't. It's her phone on mute.
That's when everything really started to spiral out of control. Cardi's comments made Nicki look weak in the public eye, and Nicki wasn't about to let that slide. She clapped back the very next day on X, writing, "The corniest thing you can be is ungrateful. Be thankful." A few months later, Nicki opened up about the situation in an interview, finally revealing how deeply the whole thing had affected her. "The only thing Cardi did that truly hurt my feelings," she said, "was that first interview after Motorsport came out. It really stung because all she kept saying was, 'I didn't hear that verse.' She changed her verse, and that narrative made me look bad." As time went on, things didn't calm down between them. If anything, the tension grew even worse. Their long-running feud reached a boiling point when they both appeared at the Met Gala, and what should have been a glamorous night quickly turned into a showdown everyone was talking about. Now, years later, the rivalry has once again exploded, only this time, it's gotten tangled up in legal issues. Cardi might have won over fans with her savage comebacks, but revealing Nicki's private medical details could end up costing her far more than a few viral tweets. Between the threat of lawsuits, the risk to her image, and Saucy Santana publicly backing her every move, this battle has gone far beyond music. The only question left is, will Cardi's bold attacks finally take Nicki down, or will they end up destroying Cardi instead?